It's 8 p.m. in London, 3 p.m. in New York, and 8 p.m. in Abuja, Nigeria. Live from our studios in London, it's Nigeria Decides 2019. I'm your host for tonight. My name is Tony Nwesi, and with me are my friends and co-hosts. To my immediate right, Otuba Bode Oseni, and my friend Jerry Krenzel. Gentlemen,
Good evening, Tony, and good evening, viewers.
Good evening, everybody.
and to our friends around the world, Nigerians watching around the world, in Nigeria, in America, Canada, all over the world, welcome. This is your show. This is your program. We have a great show for you tonight. We want you to participate. We want you to ask your questions, make your comments on Facebook, on Twitter, etc., because we want to hear from you. We want you to be part of this show. Here we go. Gentlemen, our country will have this election coming up next year, and everybody's fired up about it. We're talking about it everywhere. But I just thinking today, preparing for this program, what sort of vision do Nigerians have for their country? For you at home, our friends and our viewers around the world, what is your vision for Nigeria? We don't just want to wait for the politician. We want to hear from you. So let me start from
In a developing country, in Dubai, in countries of this world where you can see buildings, structures, different
Yes.
kind of things,
Yes.
But you see, it can only come from somebody who has that vision, who has that, what it takes to think, to look outside his box,
yes,
to see, I would really love to have an egg house.
right. This is the kind of house
Yes, I want to build.
I'm looking at.
And it must be somebody who's, I want a country
Yes,
that will have basic things of life.
yes,
There must be light. Light for me
Right.
is, you cannot compromise that.
right.
There must be good roads.
Okay,
The ports must be so prepared, designed to take in businesses of importing and exporting. You
Yes.
understand me?
Yes.
And schools, education is key.
Yes.
It must be so well funded.
yes,
You understand me?
Yes.
That there shouldn't be any story that teachers are not paid, classroom is overfilled, and other kind of things.
Yes.
And there should also be a Medicare, that after this there must be hospitals.
yes.
As you can see in
Plan
developed
for
countries,
healthcare.
there's no area in the whole of UK
Yes.
that has no hospitals of 60, 70, 80 years old.
Right.
You understand? And they are still improving on it every day.
Yes.
So all these are basic things you must have as a leader. You must know that airport must meet the standard.
Right.
You cannot just create an environment that I don't care, is because people they are going to be using it are going to come from Badagry.
Yes.
So they don't deserve better.
Yes.
And you also look at so many other things. These are, for me, these are vision.
Yes.
And this is what is not too much for an average citizen of a country to expect.
To expect and to benefit. Jerry, what is your vision for our country? I mean, what sort of, what kind of country do you want it to look like?
I actually share Otupa's some of his vision for Nigeria,
Yes.
in the sense that I've always said this over and over again. A nation has to have ultimate security for its citizens.
Yes.
The paramount duty of any government is to secure our borders, to that territorial integrity should always be in place. I need for my Nigeria to have absolute and beautiful healthcare system, because without a healthcare system,
Yes.
right, you cannot have a nation.
Yes.
Because if anything happens to your people,
Yes.
what happens? They die off.
You got
And
problem.
dying off does not make a nation.
Yes.
I also see my Nigeria. You see, the dreams I have for Nigeria is almost utopian.
Yes.
I want that Nigeria
Please share
where
with us.
all men are equal. It's not a case of all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others.
Right.
I want a Nigeria where Umaru Saukoto,
Yes.
who was born in Port Harcourt,
Yes.
can run and become the governor of River State.
Right.
I want the Nigeria where Abimbola Husseini,
Yes.
right,
Yes.
born in Borno,
Right.
can become the governor. Because at the end of the day,
Even though she's a Yoruba lady, for instance.
are we not all Nigerians? I want the Nigerian where Undubisi,
Yes.
born somewhere in Ilorin.
Yes.
His father has lived there.
Right.
He's grown there all his life.
Yes.
Can run and become, you know,
A senator or anything.
a senator or anything representing the area. I also want the Nigeria where the man who is from Kenya, who has lived all his life in Nigeria, had his children in Nigeria, Nigeria has trained those children.
Right.
We have paid to put those children through all their education.
Yes.
Right?
We have invested in the
We've
children.
invested in the children.
Yes.
They can't even speak Kiswahili.
Right. They only speak
They only speak Yoruba,
Yoruba,
Igbo, Hausa,
the native
or
language in
whatever,
Nigeria.
whatever.
Yes.
I want that child to be able to run for political office
Yes.
and bring to bear everything that Nigeria has put into him or her.
Right. For the
To
benefit of.
Nigeria,
Yes.
a great country.
Right.
That's the Nigeria I want.
Wow.
And it is achievable. When Barack Obama became president of America,
Yes.
the whole of Africa, we were busy hailing him.
Yes.
We sent a delegation from Nigeria to go to represent Nigeria in America.
Yes.
Do you think that will happen in our country? Why can they do it over there? Do you know the amount of Nigerian politicians we have in this country forging ahead? Actually, there was one of them who should, under normal circumstances, have become the Prime Minister of Britain.
Yes.
Is it
Chuka Umuna.
Chuka Umuna, under normal circumstances, will have become the Prime Minister of Britain.
Certainly leader of Labour Party, first of all.
Yes.
And then they have to win the election before
He is a Nigerian.
Yes.
Not to talk of mayors.
Or be born in England.
Or be born
and
in
live
England.
all his life in England.
Yes.
Right.
A case in point is we had Anthony Joshua, who actually came back to Nigeria to come and represent Nigeria, and we kicked him out.
Right.
We didn't even want to take a second look at him.
Right.
Today, he is practically the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world,
Right.
and we are laying claims to him.
Yes. Yes.
Why did we miss that opportunity?
Right. Right.
That's the kind of Nigeria I want.
That is very utopian. That's Otumba. What do you think? That's
Well, I cannot agree more
right.
with these lay down visions. Like I said, you must have that kind of imagination. You must have that kind of things beyond normal thinking.
Yeah.
That, like I said, I listed many areas that I would have really loved to see that our roads are better, the rails are over there. You see, for me, another thing is with the way I have seen it happening here, maybe because the number of years I've been around,
Yes.
it shows me that there's no magic, there's no rocket science in laying gauge,
Yes.
in making the seaways, useful
Yes.
to contribute.
And that's how it works in Germany and Austria
and
the other countries where you have.
It took me a long time to find out they weren't it wasn't magic.
Right.
They weren't applying the doctrine of religion in any form or shape,
Right.
and they don't have any. They don't have babalawos or anything. So it's just a case of.
Yet they built
Yeah, of course.
this great country.
Actually, they have
you know.
babalawos, they have druids, right?
Yeah.
If you go to Stonehenge,
Yeah.
you have the witches, but they don't rely on
They
that.
don't rely.
Right.
They don't rely on that.
Right.
So for me, I still think this vision we're talking about
Yes.
can only come from people who know what we are talking about.
Yeah.
And it looks like we are short.
Yes.
And you see, I was having a discussion with one or two people there before we come to the studio, and they were referring to one of the well-known billionaires in Nigeria, who hailed from
Certain
one
part of the
part
country.
of the country
Yes.
in Southwest, and he was saying to me, "You need to see the house of this guy in that village.
Yes.
Massive,
Yes.
everything is there."
Yes.
And I said, "What's the what is
Yeah,
where
what's
is
the
his
point?
vision?
Yeah, what's his
When you
mission?
are the only one that is rich
Yes.
among
The poor.
the poor,
Yes.
and then you subject others to be second, third, or fourth class to you.
Yes.
It shows clearly how visionless.
Yes.
You understand me?
Yes.
Because when you look at driving the motorway from London to Manchester, there'll be so many villages, towns,
course.
many cities, even hamlets. And
Yeah.
then the hamlets where is only 4 or 5 houses.
You have
You know,
everything.
everything that the Queen of England enjoys on Channel 7, Channel whatever, BBC 3, is what they also have there.
Yes.
Even the one I can't get over is, even in this place where it's only 4 or 5 people are living, there is a railway connection.
Yeah.
There is a different medium of thing connected to them.
Yeah.
And if they were to even use the airport, in most cases, they're always Luton is connected to many. You understand me?
Yes.
Stansted. So you can sit down and plan.
Yes.
And for us, we just have a collection of people who are just visionless.
Yes, yes. Jerry, you talked about a very utopian vision for Nigeria. I mean, you know, what do you think it would take for us to accomplish something like that?
First, we need a complete rethink. We need our brains to be rewired. And that comes from a lot of education.
Right.
And this education, like I have always said it, and I'll keep on harping on it. My generation, we have failed the youths of Nigeria.
Yes.
We did not wire them rightly to carry on the right mantle
Yes.
that they should have carried.
Yes.
Instead, we robbed, we pillaged,
Yes.
and raped the country.
Yes, I understand that bit, but I actually want you to...
I'm coming
Yeah,
now.
okay.
Now we now expect
Yeah,
the generation coming after us
Yeah.
to do something different
right.
without putting in place
Yeah.
the mechanism to make them see that what we are doing is wrong.
Yeah.
And because what we are doing is wrong, they should channel a completely different course.
Right.
Because majority of them are saying that, oh yeah, they did it. When I get there, I'm going to do it.
Right.
But
Right.
it has to change.
Yes.
And I believe Otumba has harped on this. You have harped on it many, many times.
Yeah.
Otumba was even making fun of me
Yeah.
just before we came because I got a ticket,
Yes.
right? And he says, Jerry, you're not paying the ticket because you love to pay the ticket.
Yeah.
It is the consequences
Yes.
when you do not pay that ticket
Yes.
that you are afraid of.
Yes.
What are the consequences we put in place
Yes.
to make sure that when people do something out of norm,
Yes.
so we're looking at law and order,
Law and order, yes.
accountability.
Yes.
Let's put it in place.
Yes.
When we put it in place and people know that if you take the wrong step, this is what you're going to get in return,
Yeah.
they will not be looking at us and the rubbish we have done
Yeah.
as a generation.
Yes.
They'll be looking ahead and saying, okay, let's turn this country around. Nigeria has everything
Yes.
to turn this country around. When people talk of restructuring, I say, you can restructure the country
Yes.
and we still mess it up.
Right. Right.
Which reminds me, there's a gentleman here, I don't know if you want me to read out
Please,
his...
please.
He says, his name is Frank Bello. He says, you know, Otumba, let us call a spade a spade. Nigeria is merely a geographical expression. We need to restructure the country.
Yes.
Let the West stay on its own, likewise the rest of the country.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Yes. That's the
One
One of the viewers, Frank Bello.
Frank Bello. Okay, that's Frank's point of view. But Otumba, you know, I want you to weigh in on what Jerry was touching on. He said that, you know, our generation has, in his words, bastardized Nigerians and put them in a situation whereby the life is difficult for them, etc. But earlier on, he talked about, he gave us a very utopian vision for the kind of Nigeria he wants, the kind of Nigeria we can have. You know, a Nigerian where someone born in the north, even though he's from eastern origin or western origin, can still aspire to higher offices there. How can we begin to accomplish such a vision? Because that's an exciting vision to have for our nation, and that would definitely move our nation further.
Without any surprises or arguments of can we do it, we cannot do it.
Yes.
I can say for a fact that what is missing in the polity in the country is these three words: rule of law.
Rule of law.
You see, I look back in the 70s when I was in Germany. There are two brothers.
Yes.
You know, one of them regularly was the opposition leader in the south. That is the Bayern, the southern part of Western Germany then.
Yes.
And the second was Prime Minister in the North Rhine-Pfalz, that is the Midwest, of Western Germany then.
Right.
You know, they are both Bayern. They were
Yes.
born there.
Yes.
You know, just to encompass what you say,
Yes.
so there's no reason why, because I'm Yoruba,
Yes.
I cannot rule Sokoto.
Yes.
You see, but again, the rule of law
Yes.
that is missing in our politics, missing in our system,
Yes.
unless we agree to install it, like I always say in different forms, and I will repeat it.
Yes.
I'm not trying to bore anybody.
Yes.
Once you have a corrupt society, a corrupt
Yes.
situation, a corrupt computer or system, usually you will wipe off the corrupt everything
Yeah,
and
then
now reinstall.
yeah.
You reinstall the virus to, you know,
The software.
Virus-free
Yes.
software.
and then put
Yes.
a software on top of it.
Yes.
Until, you see, because it's not like for me, I enjoy this because it's not like we are just giving, talking and talking and talking to all the educated Nigerians, but
Yes.
the quarter of us, we're just nothing but very, very wicked set of people because we are not educating the masses. We are not putting in place what we're supposed to put in place. We enjoy being the leader, but leader who does not want to lead, but just want to lead just because we just want to lead.
For his own benefit.
You understand me? You
Yes.
see, so the issue of you looking to see a country where a river-born guy, in fact, it shouldn't in the first place even exist.
Yes.
You know, because you meet an American these days outside.
He's an American.
You say hi.
Yeah.
You say hi. Where are you from? You say I am an American.
Yes.
The Englishman will say, I'm
Yes.
Hollandish, I'm a German or whatever,
Yes.
even though he comes from a very rural part of Germany.
Yes.
But he, you know,
Yes.
and some people will say, what does the rule of law got to do that? Because
Yes.
he's coming from a country that is well organized, is
Yes.
well coordinated,
Yes.
is well put together.
Yes.
The system of law is making them to operate in such in unison. You understand me?
Yes.
Everything is honky-dory, at
Yes.
least when it comes to rule of law. And let me quickly take on when Jerry said, yes, of course, when I got to the studio downstairs in the reception, I saw him so tensed.
Yes.
And I said, hello, Mr. Jerry, what is going on?
Yeah.
And I saw the usual, you know, that long ticket thing, you
Yes.
know. And he was battling to, I said, Jerry, you can afford not to pay now.
Yes.
Leave
yes.
it now, put it aside. So you discover that a ticket of £65,
Yes.
it's a lot of money.
Yes.
You would just skyrocket
Spiral.
to 200-300. I've
Remember
gone
they
through
take
that.
your car.
I have a problem with one. I have a ticket like that from nowhere.
Yes.
It's gone up to about £560.
Can you
Right.
imagine? From
The
60
issue
from
is, you
65
understand?
pounds.
Right.
So, because I know the consequence,
Yes.
I dare the consequence,
Yes.
and now I have to pay for it.
Yes.
So, in Nigeria, people will steal people's money
Yes.
and choose to give his constituents
Yes.
a fraction of that money,
Yes.
have the audacity
Yes.
to go to his constituency in somewhere in Ota
Yes.
or somewhere in Djibouti,
Yes.
build a massive, big
For himself
mansion
alone.
for himself and
Yeah.
his children
Yes.
and immediate family,
Yes.
and neglect, choose not to even touch the people who
Yes.
voted him there.
Who put him in
So
office.
I have this vision where an average Nigerian children
Yes.
or child
Yes.
should be equally trained to have the equal opportunity like the children of the elites.
Yes.
But you see, to have that, like I said, we must have the system of compelling.
Yes.
And most of the countries that have this system,
Yes.
it was not given to them on the platter of gold. It was not given to them for free.
Right.
They fought for it.
Yes.
They asked for it.
Yes.
Say enough is enough.
Yes.
And that's how I'm looking at 2019, that by now we should start to open the eyes of our people.
Yes.
They need to know that your rep is your servant.
Yes.
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 He's,
That's
he's
very
accountable
good.
to you. He can, as a matter of fact, if you see him building another house around the
You
area,
can call him to order.
It should be your. In fact, go and invade the place and tell you know what, you are building it for us.
Yeah,
We are going to turn it to a library.
Yes.
You know, when you see a former president
Yes.
building a 9-point-something billion
Yeah,
house of library,
I want you to hold that
Yeah,
thought on
yeah.
the reps, because for the audience at home, we're talking about the vision that you have for Nigeria, because the election is coming up. We want you to weigh in. We want you to contribute. We want you to don't just ask your question. We want to hear from you. We're following your comments on Facebook. Please Send us your comments about your vision. What kind of Nigeria do you want? What kind of Nigeria do you foresee for the future with this election coming up? So that as the candidates come forth and begin to talk to you, then you can juxtapose that with your own thoughts. Okay, so I'll come back to you in a minute or two, but John, I want you to weigh in on this. What do you think? You've given me what your view is on in terms of what the kind of Nigeria you want, but Nigerians at home, 160 million people. What kind of country? 180 million, depending on whose numbers we're going to take.
Okay.
180 million people. What kind of country do you think our people want? What kind of country do you think our Nigerians want? The average Nigerian, what kind of country do they want?
I think they want a country where, like I said, everything is free and fair.
Right.
In terms of the administration of justice,
Right.
healthcare, education, security. I was speaking with someone today,
Yeah.
and she normally pays a NEPA or is it PHCN
bill.
power bill
Yeah.
for between 3,000 to 4,000 every month.
Yes.
And then she received a bill of 8,000 today. And before she could say Jack Thomas, they've come to disconnect
Our power supply.
her power supply.
Right.
And this is a power supply that is pneumatic
Yeah.
in I mean, to say the least.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But she has no choice but to go pay that money. Now, which means when she went to their offices, she was told, well, they've asked us to generate a certain amount of money. So you're not generating the people and holding them to ransom. That is not the Nigeria I want. The Nigeria I want is a Nigeria where we have what is known as daytime economy
Yeah.
and a nighttime economy.
Yeah.
And the nighttime economy is an economy that can thrive
Yes.
if there is rule of law and security in the country.
Right.
Just like we have here. People work from certain hours, they go home and they go out in the evening and spend the money. Some people start work at midnight to close in the morning, and it just rolls itself.
Yeah.
Right? That's the kind of Nigeria I want. I want Nigeria that's corruption free. We were
Is
looking.
that possible?
It is possible. You see, when I say it's possible, and I want to talk about corruption,
Yes.
there is no way you will have human beings that you don't have thievery and corruption.
Right.
It is a human thing. It is endemic
it's
in
part
us.
of us,
It's
yeah.
part and parcel of our DNA
Yes.
as human beings.
Yes.
Right? But when corruption now becomes the norm,
Yes.
it becomes the order of the day.
You got a problem.
We got a problem.
Yeah.
There was a documentary
Yeah.
where it was shown on BBC where Shell
Yes.
paid 1.3 billion to a certain individual
Yes.
in Nigeria.
Yes.
I think his name is Dan Etete,
Right.
right? And this guy now,
And it come from the area where the
area where the oil comes from.
Yes.
Right?
I,
Now
I,
he
I,
now
I heard
puts-
that story, but I want you to hold that thought.
Yes.
Because we're going to go on a short break, and
Okay.
when we'll come
All
back,
right.
we're going to continue with that.
Okay, then.
Well, we'll just take a short break. Please don't go anywhere.
Heritage Television. Promoting African culture and heritage at its best
There's this guy here.
to both local and international news that relates to you. From grassroots football to African children's programs. Heritage Television. We cover your social and special events like weddings, birthdays, church anniversaries, and so on, and broadcast them live on our apps and online. Heritage Television, broadcasting everything about culture and heritage. Heritage Television. We've got it covered. Do download our apps on both Android, iOS, and Windows mobile platform. Heritage Television, your very own TV station.
3 seconds.
Welcome back. we're talking to Jerry last time about you had a comment, didn't
Yes,
you?
I have a
from
comment.
Facebook.
Actually, I have
from
a couple
Frank
of
Bello.
comments.
Do you want to read that out to the audience?
There is a gentleman called Spencer Anyewelu
Yes.
who says Nigeria can definitely work if leadership, with the sincerity of purpose,
Okay.
seek to make wholesome amendments to the Constitution and actively embark on a mindset orientation drive of the followership. And the other gentleman, Frank Bello, has come back. He said, but the elite destroyed the education that was laid by our founding fathers. The first thing rogues and corrupt politicians do is to destroy the education of the society. If education is destroyed, the people are
Definitely.
useless.
Exactly. Thank you for this contribution, Frank Bello, and the other guy,
Spencer Anyewelu.
Spencer Anyewelu. Thank you for this contribution. We appreciate it. Please keep it coming.
Yeah.
You know, October.
I must say,
Yes.
acknowledge Frank Bello is also an acknowledged publisher and broadcaster also.
Okay.
So those are profound observations.
Yes.
You see, we cannot achieve anything with these three words I keep hammering on.
Yeah.
Rule of law, rule of law, rule of law. We cannot.
Yes.
We cannot achieve any reformed education. We cannot achieve where service products and services are supposed to be delivered to the people. Services are supposed to be given in all area of governance.
Yes.
And we have a situation where the minister of this, minister of that, is enjoying, or even the legislators in the country, and it's so much.
Yes.
When you look at
And the
what
people
just
are-
happened to the
They can't even pay
budget.
the 18,000
you understand?
a month.
When you are a leader,
Yes.
you are a leader. If I am not to be getting my pension tomorrow,
Yes.
and the first place of call is to give my MP, the MP of my area, give me. It's not going to happen. But let's.
It's
there
not
is
even gonna- it's not even
but
gonna
let's
happen.
let's take it for
Yeah.
If I go to my MP,
Yes.
he will be so sorry. In fact, where possible, he'll be so sorry. He will pick the phone there and then and say
And find out why.
in fact, and if any of what I've done includes whatever it is,
Yeah.
they say, you know what? Even before you even deal with that, take it to go, but pay his dues.
Yes.
You know, we have a situation where an MP is somebody representing Ilora Central constituency or Osun, whatever. Knows that people of constituency are not being paid the last 22 months. And the governor and their wives and whatever are globe trotting.
How do
and
they-
are
how
going-
do they live
You see-
with
you see,
themselves?
this is a thing that rule of law can take care of, because you will not be able to do that
Yes.
if we have that in place. But we have a rule of law, it's not working,
Yes.
which is as good as we don't have it. So for me, it is a problem of, because people take advantage of others.
Yeah, and there's no
I think
consequence.
there's no consequence.
Yeah.
There's no consequence.
There's no consequence. Tony, if there's consequence, nobody will go to his village and build a house worth about 3-point-something billion.
Which he did not earn.
When an average person is struggling to even catch fish
And he
to
only
feed his
goes
family.
home at Christmas.
Yes, you
Yeah.
understand me?
And
To-
he goes home
and he goes home to go and show
Yeah, but if
off.
the man earned the money from his business, you know, nothing wrong with that, surely.
Yeah, surely.
But,
surely.
but if he's an
But you-
elected,
But how many-
elected
how many-
officer,
Yeah,
many-
but most of these
no,
people
no.
are talking about,
Yeah.
there are very few, most of them are politicians.
You're politicians.
The
How many
private
clean
one, yeah.
businessmen do we have in Nigeria?
Yeah.
How many can actually stand up today?
Yeah.
Because Nigeria is structured in such a way that the government is the biggest employer of labor and
Anywhere in the
generator
whole world, yeah.
of money.
yeah, you know,
Right?
government is business in
Yes.
Nigeria.
Now these people take contracts from our government
Yes.
and they shortchange the people every time.
Yeah.
So you cannot tell me that your money is clean. Show me one clean businessman in
I
Nigeria.
mean, that's a big
That's
controversy.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
probably-
but it is the truth. It is the truth. You and I know.
Mm.
Well, having said that,
Yeah.
I also have a few people who are chipping in
That's good.
because you did ask them to,
Yes, yes.
to send in their questions.
Yes,
And I don't
yes,
know. There must, be
absolutely.
some,
Please,
there must
please.
be something about your voice that's making them. come out of the
Fantastic.
blue.
Please read the next one.
I have Temi Tokwe here who
Okay.
says
Yes.
health, education, food, health. I also have Dominic
Yes. That's Temi
Ariata
Tokwe.
who says,
Oh, yeah.
don't you think that money recovered should be used to build 36 hospitals across Nigeria? Which,
So-
to me, This is really
Yeah,
straight
it's onto
thinking.
something. You know, Temitope talked about health education and health again,
And food.
and food. You know, as the issues we need to be focusing on. You know, what's your take on that?
These three main and basic things
Yeah,
is so important to human beings, to humanity.
yeah,
You cannot deny human beings of certain things like food,
yes.
Medicare, education.
Is the government denying people
You'll
of
be,
food?
you'll be, yeah. You see, the best way to say that is if you are the food, the
Minister,
breadwinner,
okay.
and you're working as what job you're doing,
Yes.
have you not been paid the last 18 months?
Yes, yes, that's correct.
Are the children or the family
Yes,
not going to be hungry?
Yes, exactly.
And when people who are supposed to ensure that
Yes.
doesn't happen,
Yes.
they are the ones sitting on it,
Yes.
they will get their own millions paid into their own account.
Yes,
They drive average car that was about 60, 70 million.
yes,
They can even splash
yes,
a huge amount of money
Yes.
on their girlfriends and so on and so forth.
yes.
And then the ordinary man in
ordinary
motion
woman,
has nothing to show for
Yes.
being a Nigerian.
Yeah.
That is a serious indictment as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and then Dominic, I want you to weigh on that.
Dominic said,
the-
don't you think money recovered should be used to build 36 hospitals across Nigeria?
Yes.
I think, yes, it should be.
Yeah.
You see, we have had occasions where money that has been recovered
Yes.
by any government,
Yes.
that's money stolen and stashed abroad
Yes.
by political Nigerians or leaders,
Yes.
has been paid back into the country,
Yes.
and that money has not been put to good use. We don't know where the money is gone.
Or the ones that snake swallowed.
Yes, the one that the snake swallowed, and
Right.
I'm actually grooming a monkey to go home and go and swallow some more for me. However, having said that,
Yes.
if the organizations giving this money back to Nigeria
Yes.
actually attach a condition
Yes.
that, you know something, and I think some of these organizations should do that. You see, because if we cannot police ourselves,
Yes.
and then we want money from certain governments
Yes.
who know the worth of their citizens
Yes.
and doing the right thing to make sure that life is worth living,
Yes.
right, for their citizens.
Yes.
If they really like us,
Yes.
they should attach certain conditions.
Yes.
I have said this before. What is stopping every governor in Nigeria from having a state-of-the-art hospital
In their states,
in their state
Each of the
capitals?
states.
the state capitals.
It helps,
So the-
it
yes.
generates employment,
Yes.
it teaches medical personnel, doctors, paramedics,
Yeah, okay.
nurses, and everything.
Yeah.
And this helps your nation.
Yeah.
It helps your state.
Yeah.
Nigerians go out of the country in drove looking for medical treatment.
Medical treatment.
Medical tourism has become the order of the day because the hospitals we have are not delivering what they ought to be delivering.
Yes.
So do you think if the hospitals in every state capital is put
Yeah.
in place,
Yes.
whereby the people don't need to go abroad,
Yes.
won't we be keeping some of this money inside?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good point that Dominic made, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah,
good
it's
point.
I mean,
Dominic
our
made.
leaders been doing this for quite a while. I mean,
Too long.
Jonathan did that, Yaradua did that, OBG did that,
Too long.
and of course our current president did that. Health tourism. Otubo, you want to weigh in on this?
Yeah. Again, this brings me to the usual question I always ask my audience or my guests on different programs. Are we for real?
Yeah, but
Are we really kind of, that kind of human being you can imagine that will not see his neighbor or children of the other, of his driver, go hungry? Or you now see a situation where there's no light in certain area of the state,
yeah.
and there have been lights and they keep rationing it, and somebody who's supposed to resolve the problem now say, oh, you cannot have so much light
Yes.
because we are sharing the energy.
We're shedding.
We
They
are
call it
shedding.
shedding.
We are doing it. You see, it boils down to the way that person that's supposed to give you a better life
Yes.
sees you.
Yes.
It shows he probably put so small premium.
As far as he's concerned, you are subhuman.
Yeah, because he has the biggest Rolls Royce generator in his house. He never have power failure.
Yes.
And I also want to look at the other people who supposed to be the champion of making things happen in the country. They just shut you,
Yes.
out and then keep everything to themselves.
Yes.
They go on regular holiday to check their BP. In fact, some of them are having serious BP.
The health MOTs.
Unlike me, I have this something beside my bed. I check it every day in the morning. I check it,
Honest.
because these are not luxury.
Yes.
You understand me?
Yes.
That I'm going to die is a fact,
Yes.
but there's certain days you don't die,
Yes.
and we have that. You can imagine an area in the north drinking from the well where the same place the monkey.
Is it a well? It's not even a well.
Where the monkey
It's a stream.
Yeah, it's a stream.
There's
The
monkeys
monkey
and
everybody.
animals, they come to drink.
Again.
I want you to hold your thought there. I want to put the question back to you, my fellow, my viewers around the world. What can we do as a people to checkmate all this bad behavior by our politicians? Because are we determined as a people? Are we hopeless? Are we helpless? And are we done for? What can we as citizens do? So I want you to weigh in on that. I appreciate those of you who have sent us your comments so far. We had Temitokwe, we've had Dominic, and we've had one other guy, Frank as well. Frank Bello, Frank Spencer. Is it Spencer? Frank Spencer?
Yes, Spencer Anyewelu.
Spencer Anyewelu. Spencer, I want you all to weigh in. Send us your comment. What can we as Nigerians do? What can citizens do to help checkmate some of this corruption? Because we can't keep on blaming the politicians, blaming our governments, blaming our governors, blaming the senators, or saying they did this, they did that, they did that. How long are we going to do that? I want to hear from you. I want you to give us your thoughts, how we can begin to check and correct this stuff. So Otuba, this is where I am, because we can't keep going on and on about this. What can we as citizens do to begin to checkmate some of these problems so we can contain them or manage them?
Well, first thing first is to continue doing what you, Jerry, and I, and many other people who take it upon themselves to disseminate information.
Right.
Choose to broadcast it.
Yes.
Educate our people.
Yes.
Get them to understand that your rep is not supposed to have any nicety than what the ordinary voter in his constituency should have.
Yes.
You understand me?
Yes.
You should not say thank you to your rep.
Yeah, he should be saying thank you to you.
He should be saying thank you to him. You understand me? Or her. You understand me? Your rep should not come dressing in a very elaborate whatever. He should come like somebody who is working for you.
Yes.
Yes, he's entitled to his wages. He gets a lot of, he's highly paid. There's so many allowances, many perks, and so on and so forth. But you should understand that this guy, if I'm made the whatever of your, I'm representing your pains. I should be there for you in time of whatever, and I should be fighting for to provide basic things.
Yeah, to make life better for you.
You understand? Amenities for your area. Do not say thank you to any governor.
Yes.
Do not say thank you to any of your reps.
Any chairman of local
tell them that, hang on a minute, people who live in other countries say, we should not say, why don't you do this? Why do you ask them questions? You see, until when we have that in a large quantity, because as we speak, some people say to me, they are not going to spend naira. They're not going to spend. They are going to spend dollars. They want to spend dollars. I know. I'm talking from a very, very reliable source. And a lot of people are still looking forward to that. Dollar for them, as far as they are concerned, $10 is a lot of money. When you give somebody 500 naira and put it inside the bread, get him to go and vote for you. And that's why I say also, these are the kind of information we should be giving to our people. They should, we should liberate them. We should give them that kind of emancipation that they, these people are your servants.
Yes, yes. Otuba, you make a very good point there, and I want Jerry to weigh in on that. But before I do, I want to talk to the audience again. Please, you heard what Otuba said now. We should be educating our people, informing them that these our politicians are your servants. But, I don't want you alone to have that information. I want you to share this with all your friends and family. So share this information, share this video immediately as you're watching, and share with all your friends and family, and get them to come on the show so they can hear just like you're hearing and benefit from it. So, Jerry, do you want to weigh in on this issue? Because let's talk about what can we do as citizens. Otuba has talked about, making sure that Nigerians understand that the politicians are their servants, the public servants. The citizens are the masters, while the politicians are the servants. That's a very major point that he has made. But I want you to weigh in on that topic.
The question I like to ask my fellow Nigerians is this.
Yeah.
If you register, you get your PVC, and all of you, on the day of elections, sit down in the house and you don't vote anybody into power,
Yes.
will you have any rep?
Exactly, no.
So if you are not going to have the rep, then it goes without saying that it is when you go out and vote,
Yes.
that's when you get the rep.
Yes.
Therefore,
Yes.
the rep automatically becomes your servant.
Because the servant's
He's
working
working for you.
There you go. That's
There
a
is
good
a
point.
reason why he had come to you
Yes.
to ask you to vote for him.
Yes.
He now he's promised you
Yes. A lot of stuff.
a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, don't just let anybody come to you and give you Ankara, give you rice, ururu, and scrawny neck chicken.
Yes.
Ask them, what have you got for me?
Yes.
If you get there, what are you going to do for me? This is where I actually take stock with the current Ministry of Information in the country.
Yes.
We always play politics.
When the election is coming.
We even before the election, we play stupid politics.
Right.
Because in the process of not actually trying to, you don't want to inform the people, you don't want the people to know, right? Because if the people know, they will vote you out. We are doing a lot of disservice to our people. The Ministry of Information is there to disseminate information
on what's going on.
It don't care whether you are from Jerry's party or you are from Tony's party.
Yes.
Educate the electorate. Let them know what to expect from their reps, from their senator, from
Yes.
their government.
Yes.
We are, I can't imagine the amount of radio stations we have in Nigeria.
Yes.
It's huge.
Yes.
What are they doing?
Is
Is it only playing music and talking trash?
If I can quickly interject with that.
Yes.
These are also part of the problem, and I always allude to when we were in 3 separate regions.
Yes.
We have one of the regions
Yes.
that has a leader
Yes.
that does everything possible to make sure that basic things are provided.
Yes.
Even it is also some of his followers also that created the unnecessary prohibition or inhibition to make things impossible. But that's another story. That's another entirely.
Yes, yes.
So we don't want to go into that. But what I'm trying to say is, we all remember that free education was
yes.
like
I had free education.
hand. I
Yes,
mean,
yes,
at,
absolutely.
at 70 plus, it was. If it had not been free education, probably I would still be a farmer
Yes.
carrying
Somewhere,
my.
I probably would have been a fisherman somewhere.
So really, free edu- you see, and these are the things we need to line out to our listeners,
Yes.
to voters.
Yes.
You must ask for these basic
For
things
free education.
It is
before
your
you
right.
see anybody building anything, or you find out that they are living ostentatious life. Ask them questions.
That's what Dominic has
Schools-
come back to do.
Okay.
Schools.
Let's hear from
Yes.
Dominic.
You see, what we can do as a Nigeria is to get your PVC ready.
Yes.
Tell your people in the village who is reasonable to vote for. Undermine any politicians are doing or displaying their wealth,
Yes.
right? Temi Tokwe came back and said to vote wisely. He said what we should do is to vote wisely this coming 2019.
Yes.
Joke Othman says, nice topic, good points, thanks all for this. And Temi Tokwe says, do not sell your vote, Nigeria. Vote wisely this coming. And then there's Joke Othman say, I believe people are wise these days. They only collect their stuff and vote for their candidate,
Right.
which is what I keep saying.
Yes.
You want to collect the money.
Yes.
Yeah, but
and then
vote for him.
And vote for whoever you
But
want to
then-
vote.
then
But I
I-
want you to weigh on what Temitokwe said.
Yes.
You know, and let me get your comment. Temitokwe said, people should vote wisely. Yes.
Yes.
That was her comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What that would say to me,
Yeah.
vote wisely would be if I'm informed.
Yes.
These people we're talking about,
Yes.
they have been so bastardized.
Yes.
They're taking their brains.
But you keep saying if you're informed
Yeah, but-
and they're being bastardized. So whose job is it to inform them? How are they going to get
But
informed?
you suppose you have a minister in charge of education. Yeah. And looking at the
And there's a budget for education.
But he's not doing his job.
He's not doing his job.
What can Nigerians do?
That's what I'm saying. And that is where you and I, we should continue to
Right.
do what we are doing, and we look forward to have more of us.
Right.
We in diaspora, we should find a way of reaching out to these people at home and
Right.
say, you know what, this Mr. Jimo
Yes.
Ilori, who wants to be the senator of your area,
Yes.
you have to see him not bigger than you, is not better than
not
you.
better than you.
You understand me?
Yeah.
See him and even talk to. Don't be rude. I mean, we are not saying we're not saying anybody should be rude to anybody. Of course,
Yes.
it's your rep.
Yes.
Get him to understand that we understand what it takes.
Yes,
You are
yes.
going there now.
Yes.
If we do not
Deliver.
deliver these basic things,
Yes.
we will
We will have
react
a problem.
and you will not be sent back there again. You see, the one, I know what, once people are start talking to their reps like that,
Yes.
they will be afraid.
Yes.
They'll be very, very afraid.
begin to sit up.
Of course, they sit up and
Yeah.
start doing what they need to do.
Yeah.
But let me quickly touch on the issue of take money or not take money.
Yes.
It has come to me that if you say don't take money, I don't want to say anything that will make me look. No, I don't support it. I mean, lots of people who know me. But please, if push come to shove,
Yes.
just sit them down and say, call one of your sons out, go to quickly. Today, come, they're offering me money. Let us do the calculation. 18,000 a month.
yes,
Hang on a minute, let me
yes.
finish.
Yeah,
Yeah, 18,000 a month. Because, Joe, how many years are you going to be in government for?
4 years.
4 years, that's
Yes.
48 months. 18,000 times 48 months, yeah?
Yeah.
That will come to about 864,000 naira.
Yes.
And, round it up.
To 1 million.
For one, that is going to be what I need for one of my household.
Yes.
So, for 5 multiplied by, it's going to be about 5 million. So, give me 5 million.
That's a good
I will
one.
vote for you. I'll vote for you. I'm not. Don't misunderstand. I don't want our viewers to misunderstand. me.
Yes.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
Put that in front. Okay, say for example, I mean, where I come from, and I have to be at home, and I notice that one of the politicians started dishing and said, no problem. I'll just call it a small house meeting.
Yes.
I said, we love to have money. Don't worry.
Yes.
And I put this calculation. He will run away.
Yes.
Yeah, but when he runs away, he's
Yes.
not going to go to somebody who will take the money.
At
So
the end of-
for me,
we will not
if
vote
I was
him.
there, if I was there,
Yeah.
I will take your money
You take the
and
money.
I will vote for my own candidate, not you.
But this 18,000, I mean, sorry, what they are going to give you?
I don't
the
care, but
10,000.
as
Now,
long
hang
as
on
they
a
don't
minute.
get
For
in.
me, that is too cheap. If
I will
okay,
take
you will
your
take.
money.
If you
Okay,
take,
gentlemen,
that, I will say I want
we'll leave it
864,000.
there for
Before
now.
we go,
Yes. We have another comment.
yes, it says the solution lies with the elite,
Yes.
who should be willing to change the status quo.
Right.
Those of us in the know must speak out and even aspire for political office to be able to make a difference.
Yes.
Spencer again.
That's Spencer.
Do you rightly think
Yeah.
those of our Nigerians
Yes.
who are educated,
Yes.
who are enlightened,
Yes.
who are polished,
Yes.
do they actually aspire to go into politics? Most of us run away from politics.
Yes, and a lot of people are doing that. But I want you to hold that thought. I want to go to the last segment of the show, and I want the audience to weigh in on this as well. This is about the budget, which was reported today, the 2018 budget, which we've heard that the National Assembly actually slashed 19.15 billion, which the current president has earmarked for public services, for housing, for roads, for hospitals, infrastructure, and instead have padded it up with 578 billion of their own projects for their own benefit. And I want you, Nigerians, I want you to weigh in on this and tell us again how you feel about this. But before we will take that, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, that'll be the last segment of our show tonight. Hold your thought there.
Heritage Television. Promoting African culture and heritage at its best. From talk shows that concern you to both local and international news that relates to you. From grassroots football to African children's programs. Heritage Television. We cover your social and special events like weddings, birthdays, church anniversaries, and so on, and broadcast them live on our apps and online. Heritage Television, broadcasting everything about culture and heritage. Heritage Television. We've got it covered. Do download our apps on both Android, iOS, and Windows mobile platform. Heritage Television, your very own TV station.
Welcome back, viewers. The last segment, we were talking about the current budget, 2018 budget, which the National Assembly has cut out 19.15 billion from the president's budget and instead padded it up with 578 billion worth of projects for their own benefit, for their own purposes. And I want you to weigh in on this, and I want you to, call your reps and your senators and ask them what this is about. But I want to hear from you. What do you think about this idea of the National Assembly people, our senators, cutting out 19 billion, which was earmarked for public services, for hospitals, for roads, for infrastructure, and instead putting in their own projects for their own benefit? I mean, what do you say about that? Please let the comments keep coming. We're watching Facebook. Otumba, what do you have to say about this?
Again, we're probably going to go back to the drawing board.
Yes.
And what we are going to be discussing or going to draw there is to start asking questions.
Yes.
Questions will be if a constituency A comprised of the constituents, people who voted or who is going to vote a particular candidate.
Yes.
Or we're talking of the budget now. The budget is already in place with the people who are already there.
Yes.
So I would probably, in my area, request for a quick recall, not the recalling to dismiss a rep and say, hello, can you explain to us here?
Yes.
What exactly do you mean? You increase your salary.
Yes.
We're talking about the 18,000 that has not been increased.
Yes.
And you now have the audacity
To pad it.
To pad your own openly
Yes.
with so much pay and allowances.
Yes.
You did not even talk about workers in Ota Songo,
Yes.
Songo Ota Central,
18,000 minimum
18
wage.
minimum. We are still owing. Ogun State is still owing some money.
Yes.
What exactly is going on?
Yes.
You know what? We might not even let you go back next week.
Yes. Yes.
You see, you need to have not being aggressive.
Yes.
You need to have a people that know exactly what they are doing.
Yes.
Again, if we do that, we can make a comparison of what is going on in the West here. Not long ago, one of these Midwest in America, somebody recalled the senator and said, you took part in this kind of debate. My wife is angry. My other friends are angry. You know what? We're just going to give you your sign off. You already signed you're not going back.
We call it
You understand me? Yes, you already signed it. And generally, it was live. Anybody can Google that.
Yes.
You see? So this is criminal.
Yes.
This is unacceptable to the people of Nigeria, where
these are public services.
These are public services. You now cut it down to increase your.
It wasn't the president trying to order a new set of planes for himself.
This is a direct
or
slap.
his wife,
This is a direct slap on democracy. This is a direct slap, taking the people, they don't want anything.
Yes.
This is exactly what is going on. That's what I have for him.
Yes. Jerry, do you want to weigh in on this one?
Yeah, you see, when we were in the secondary school, we used to joke with this thing called infradignitate.
Right.
I mean, this is an audacious disrespect for the intelligence of Nigerians.
Yes.
How dare they? How dare you? When you know your people are suffering, and you have I'm boiling because
I can imagine.
We are trying to get a government to come and do the right thing for the people.
Yes.
You are supposed to be working with the government to get the people to where they ought to be. This is 2019 or 2018, for goodness sake. And my people are still living under $1 a day. And then you go and pad the budget. A budget that should have been passed and approved Because the federal government budgetary year is always January to December.
Yes.
And they delayed for so many months.
And they've just delayed it to what we're in June now.
Yes.
Half of the year is gone. And you have the effrontery.
This is padding it up.
You have the effrontery.
Yeah.
How dare you? What gives you that right to insult Nigerians the way you are insulting Nigerians?
Because
Is
they get used to it, they do
you
it
don't
all the
get
time.
stoned?
Right. Right.
And how long do you think you can do that before you get away with it? Because the people are getting wiser and wiser every day now.
Yes.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
It is annoying. It is annoying because they're doing it because they know nobody's going to ask them
No comeback.
questions. You know, they know no people are not going to ask questions, and that's why I say this program is so designed. To respect to moderator,
Yes.
It's so designed, and we cannot give up. We must continue to educate, disseminate information to our people, and please, like you rightly said,
Yes.
you know, appealing to our audience,
Yes.
they should now take it further,
Yes.
share it, and tell them. You see, it's going to take a long time, and until such a time, we cannot just give up, because I was listening to do analysis on the budget and all that kind of thing.
Yes.
Now, and that's another thing. Well, we're not trying to be anything to the president. The moment they find out that, they say, you know what, the executive is closer to the people. You understand me? These people will legislate laws as far as they are concerned. They legislate law to suit their own immediate needs.
Yes. And they are the ones who are supposed to be closer to the people.
Exactly.
Because they go home every weekend.
Because they are the ones that are supposed to legislate.
Do they go home every
humane.
weekend at all? Do they
We
even
call it,
actually go home?
Right.
They're supposed to legislate humane laws.
Yes.
You understand me?
For the
Laws,
benefit of the people.
The benefit of the people. They are not doing that. And I think the executive also, you know, you say, well, this is not acceptable to me. He said, because how do I explain?
I just have somebody here.
Yeah.
Bamidele Michael Akorede.
Yes.
If we can make death sentence for corruption in Nigeria, our system would begin to work real well.
Well, that might be-
we don't want to encourage violence.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
break
yeah,
the
No,
law.
but realistically,
You know.
if you want to eat egg
Yes.
or omelette, you break the egg.
You break the egg.
Yeah, but the only thing I see in that is, like I said, you see, you need to
Well, thank
put
you,
a-
Bamidele, but you know.
yeah, you need to put a system in place.
Something, a deterrent.
The system is just
deterrent.
not in place.
Otuba, you know, you and I we were talking some time ago, and I muted an idea, and you probably shut it down. But realistically, we have our local indigenous
there.
religion.
Don't go there.
Let them come and swear with Ogun, Oshun,
don't go
Ayala,
there.
Don't go there.
watch the next 4 years. You
Don't go
watch
there.
Nigeria
yeah.
and their senators
Don't
go
go-
to work for us.
Don't go there. We're going to leave it there for tonight, gentlemen. It's a real pleasure having you and having an extensive conversation with you. And for our viewers around the world, I will thank you for your participation. We particularly want to appreciate Temitope for her contributions to Dominic and Joke and Bamidele also.
Frank Bello.
And also had Frank Bello who,
Yeah, and
who came
Spencer.
up. And Frank Spencer. Was it Frank Spencer?
Menela,
Spencer, it's Spencer.
Spencer,
And
who,
Yewil.
Yewere, who came on the show and sent their comments. We appreciate you very much. You know, please share this with all your friends and family around the world. Make sure every Nigerian gets a copy of this, because this is where we're going to be able to transform our country. It will come your way next time, every Thursday, 8 o'clock, Heritage TV. It's Nigeria Decides. And until then, for my friends here,
good night.
and from me, it's good night.
Heritage Television. Promoting African culture and heritage at its best. From talk shows that concern you to both local and international news that relates to you. From grassroots football to African children's programs. Heritage Television. We cover your social and special events like weddings, birthdays, church anniversaries, and so on, and broadcast them live on our apps and online. Heritage Television, broadcasting everything about culture and heritage. Heritage Television. We've got it covered. Do download our apps on both Android, iOS, and Windows mobile platform. Heritage Television, your very own TV station.
Oya nínú ògo, Oya nínú ògo. LOC.
God bless you.
LOC.
God bless you.
LOC.
God bless you.
My people out there, our mother in Christ, Reverend Mother Dr. Esther Abimbola Ajayi, is asking us to come and celebrate the Comforter. Where? United States of America, 4041 Broadway, on Saturday, the 28th of July, 2018. Don't forget, 4041 Broadway, New York, United States of America. Come, let's celebrate the Comforter.
The mighty hand of God shall liberate you at the second anniversary and powerful revival of Hour of Peace Evangelical Ministry that will take place on the 29th June 2018. Time 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. as Global Conference Hall, Selina Lane, Dagenham, RM8 1QH, opposite Dairy Crest Milk Industry. For
Oh, hello. Are you over 50? Come then. Let's narrate your story on the Ultimate 50 Plus Club. You see, this program is specifically directed at you all over 50 plus. Where were you born? What's your childhood like? What school did you attend? What have you done? Where have you been? Where are you going? What's your story? Your hopes and aspirations. See, we on Heritage TV would like to rub minds with you regardless of your status, education, or position in the society. The door is open. Come walk down memory lane with us. Step in. We're looking forward to seeing you.